Donald Trump and the MAGA movement have a consistent message. They are the protectors, the saviors guarding your money and your future from the so-called crazy Democrats and fraudsters. It's a powerful narrative built on fear and division. But what happens when that narrative slams headfirst into reality? What happens when the very people they claim to protect are the ones being harmed? We're about to show you exactly how that plays out, directly from the mouths of voters and the documented record. He said Snap was safe, then this happened.
Who is going to protect my money from fraudsters? And the simple answer is it's Derek Van Orden and congressional Republicans. It is not the Democrats who created this problem to begin with.
Wait, what? The simple answer is that Republicans are the protectors from fraudsters? This is the core of the MAGA message, a blanket assertion that they are the solution and Democrats are the problem without ever really defining the problem beyond vague accusations. But this isn't just rhetoric, it's a deliberate framing. It's designed to divert attention from actual verifiable actions and consequences. They paint a picture of an enemy that doesn't exist in the way they describe, so they can position themselves as the only viable defense. But the reality, as we will see, tells a very different story when you look at who is actually being impacted by their policies. The kind of protection they offer often comes at a steep price for everyday Americans.
We would really appreciate you not sending us a bunch of crazy Democrats in November, so please don't do that. God bless you all. Thank you.
Stop the crazy Democrats, he says. This is the constant drumbeat. Demonize the opposition, simplify complex issues into a binary choice of good versus evil. But what exactly defines crazy in their eyes? Is it policies that aim to support vulnerable Americans, or is it simply anyone who opposes their power? This kind of language isn't just political posturing. It's a deliberate attempt to reduce public discourse to emotional slogans rather than engaging with actual policy outcomes. It's a strategy to keep voters from looking too closely at the details, at the numbers, at the real-world impact of their own legislative choices. Because when you do look closely, when you pull back the curtain, what you find is often a stark contradiction to their sweeping claims of protection and prosperity.
Under Joe Biden, I received $80 a month for SNAP. That was taken away from me under Donald Trump. He took it away. He gave me $24 a month.
That's Measurable. That's on the record. A 65-year-old legally blind woman, disabled, losing 28 pounds because she can't afford food. And she states unequivocally that her SNAP benefits were significantly cut under Donald Trump, from $80 a month to just $24. This isn't some abstract economic theory. This is a direct, undeniable impact on a human life. This is the real-world consequence of policy decisions made by the very administration that claims to be protecting Americans from fraudsters. If this kind of breakdown matters to you, this is exactly what we do here. This woman's story is not an isolated incident. It reflects a pattern where the most vulnerable pay the highest price when rhetoric clashes with reality. It's a stark reminder of who truly bears the burden of these so-called protections. Her experience exposes a profound disconnect between the promises made on the campaign trail and the harsh realities faced by millions. It demands accountability, not just more empty slogans.
I asked him the same question about Donald Trump. He said delusional. Chris, he says that he was a Trump supporter through and through.
Delusional. That's a word from a self-described through and through Trump supporter. This isn't a political opponent. This is a former loyalist, now disillusioned. That's documented. When even your most ardent supporters start calling you delusional and are ready to vote across party lines, it signals a deeper erosion of trust. It's an admission that the narrative, the performance, has finally worn thin for some who once bought into it completely. This shift isn't about policy details for him. It's about a fundamental loss of credibility. It's about a growing realization that the promises and the persona don't align with the actual leadership or the outcomes. When the base starts to crack, it's not just a warning sign for a campaign, it's a warning for the entire movement.
She goes, I will work to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, but then voted no. She promised to protect Medicaid and then voted to gut Medicaid. She promised to protect clean energy tax credits and then voted against that.
That's not how that works. You promise to extend tax credits, then vote no. You promise to protect Medicaid, then vote to gut it. You promise to support clean energy, then vote against it. This isn't just a difference of opinion, it's a direct contradiction between public promise and legislative action. This pattern of outright misrepresentation isn't just misleading, it's a calculated deception. It undermines the very foundation of representative democracy, where voters trust their elected officials to act on their stated intentions. When that trust is repeatedly broken, what's left? This isn't about crazy Democrats or fraudsters from the outside. This is about elected officials within the system actively working against the interests they swore to protect. It's a direct assault on the integrity of the political process itself.
She wouldn't even say that Joe Biden had won the election, and she still won't. She's still perpetuating that lie.
Yeah, I don't do political ads, but I like your idea there.
The refusal to acknowledge a legitimate election result, still perpetuating that lie. This isn't about a policy disagreement. This is about undermining the bedrock of our democracy. When an elected official refuses to accept the outcome of a free and fair election, they are actively chipping away at the institutional credibility that holds our nation together. And it's not just that. This is a Congresswoman, a former helicopter pilot, who voted against aviation safety. You literally cannot make this up. It's a complete abandonment of principle, all to vote with Trump 100% of the time. This is the ultimate institutional credibility risk. This isn't just about a single district or a single vote. It's about a dangerous pattern where loyalty to a single figure overrides all else: truth, constituents, and even basic safety. The stakes couldn't be clearer. It's about the very future of our democratic norms and the integrity of our institutions. The evidence is clear. The narrative of protection from crazy Democrats and fraudsters crumbles under the weight of documented facts and lived experiences. From a woman starving because of benefit cuts to a former supporter calling Trump delusional, the impact of MAGA policies and rhetoric is undeniable. When elected officials contradict their own promises, undermine democratic outcomes, and erode the very institutions they swore to uphold, accountability is not just important, it is essential. If you want to keep seeing these contradictions exposed with evidence, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep cutting through the noise and showing you what's really happening.